baby, I'll go anywhere. We'll take a plane and take a boat. I don't really care, just as long as it will get us there. Cause I wanna see what's above, I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can leave it all behind. No stop or rewind, before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, baby, we should go. Get set, go, take off. We can leave it all behind, right, before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, maybe we should both get set, go, take off.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, it's so cold outside. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down. I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side, and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate, and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shape me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone. It's so cold outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Truck Series here at the Lucas Oil Raceway. It's short track racing here, NEXXTCAR style tonight, ladies and gentlemen. These drivers are gonna have themselves a huge challenge at hand tonight. This 0.6 mile track is going to be difficult for these drivers here tonight. As you have seen in practice here, these drivers have got a lot to figure out here in just a short amount of time here in this one. 150 laps here tonight, 100 miles around this 0.6 mile track. These drivers, I've said it, they're going to have their hands full, but I have absolutely the most confident in these drivers that they can get it figured out, and we are going to see some absolutely amazing racing here once again tonight. That is something these drivers know how to put on, is one heck of a show for us up here in the booth and you guys at home watching in your living rooms. These drivers absolutely know how to get it done. Right now, these drivers, I've said it, they have their hands full tonight. 17 drivers right now have put down a lap time, so hopefully we can get around the same amount, if not more, here for the race tonight, starting here in about 5.5 minutes. You guys can see they have 5 minutes and 20 seconds left here in practice, so you can see these guys battling big time here, and you can see that 04 down around that apron trying some different lines. He's going to get loose coming out of turn number 4, but these drivers, they are going to have their hands full just like they did last week at the new configuration of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Those drivers put on one heck of a show as well down there. Nick Trudeau getting his second win in a row, his first 2 wins of the season, and he got it done at Canadian Tire 3 weeks ago. We were off for the Thanksgiving weekend, and then he came into last week at Atlanta hot off that win in Canadian Tire, and Nick made it back-to-back in that number 89 Chevy. You can see him out here right now running around in that Chevrolet Chevy Silverado. Not running his normal sponsor tonight. He's running around that Exalta Chevy. But yeah, a bunch of these guys running some different schemes tonight. You guys saw it. Maybe my favorite is that number 2 truck. Let's see if we can't get him up here on the screen. That is going to be Andrew Bolander and that Home Depot number 2 Toyota Tundra. Throwback to Tony Stewart. That thing is absolutely beautiful. Love that paint scheme. I'm not sure who that's supposed to be in front of him, as it's just a blank white truck with a blank white pit stall and everything. So hopefully whoever that is can get that figured out. We can see his numbers and paint scheme and everything. But topping your standings right now here in practice, Jonathan Wright putting down a 22.30 with Matthew Tucker right behind him with a 22.33. And then right behind him is Mitch Diamond with a 22.35. And then a 22.38 for Robert Babcock, as you see JD getting loose there coming out of turn number 2. He's going to tow it back to pit road. But Matthew Tucker and that throwback Coors Light, the old number 40 Sterling Marling throwback in that number 25 Chevy Silverado. Obviously, it's Ruckley Roofing, but throwing it back here, absolutely love that scheme as well. But you see the 25 slipping and sliding coming out of turn number 2. But right now, you got Wright, Tucker, Diamond, Babcock, and Chandler rounding out your top 5. Then Trudeau, Thomas, Erickson, Bocock, Don Francesco making his return to NEXXTCAR. We have not seen that name since, I believe, week 3 or week 4. He had to step away for a little bit from league racing, but great to see him back in here. And then you got Tulloch, Bolander, Turner, Hassong, Maxwell, Larson, Tibbetts, and Emos rounding out your field. 18 drivers right now have put down a lap time. Absolutely love to see it here for short track racing NEXXTCAR style. You see Peyton just there making his way up there into the 9th position right here. But these drivers have 2.5 minutes left in practice. So let's go ahead and let's get your point standings up here. This is week 9, folks. We only have 2 more races left this season. I can't believe it. This season has absolutely flown by. I cannot believe that we only have 2 more races left. And then we are crowning your champion next weekend. Right now, that champion can go to anybody. Matthew Erickson currently is your points leader by 9 points over Peyton Tulloch with 220 points. John Turner right behind him by just another 9 points. So 9 points separates first to second, and then another 9 points from second to third, and then just 2 points separates J.D. Larson from John Turner in third and fourth, and then Jonathan Wright back there in fifth. So anyone inside the top 5 still has a hand on that championship trophy at the end of next week. Next week ends it all, folks. Season 1 is done next week at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Cannot wait to head there. One of the most classic, well-known tracks of the NASCAR schedule back in the 70s, the 80s. Cannot wait to head back to that track for next week. And what a track to crown your champion at. Cannot wait for it. But before that, these drivers have got to get through a very tricky Lucas Oil Raceway. You can see the rest of the names there. Andrew Bolander 6th, Christopher Thomas 7th, Matthew Tucker 8th, Mitch Diamond 9th, and then David Chandler is tied with Mitch Diamond in that 10th position. And then back in 11th is your 2-time winner, Nicholas Trudeau. We've talked about it. He's coming in tonight a 2-time winner, back-to-back. Can he go back-to-back-to-back wins here at Lucas Oil Raceway? I've talked to him throughout the week. He absolutely loves this track. So it's going to be interesting to see where exactly he qualifies and how can he work his way up through this field here tonight. And how can he climb up through these standings. He's pretty much out of the championship race, folks, but he still has a lot on the line to get up inside that top 10 just for bragging rights. And then you got Jimmy Emo, Steve Bocock, Trenton Branson, Robert Babcock, Stephen Henning rounding out your top 15. And then Brandon Dunford back in 17th, Robert Hassong 18th, Zachary Brooks 19th, Nicholas Donfrancisco 20th, and then the rest of the field you see down there below them. But folks, it is about time for qualifying, so let's head back down to the track and see what these drivers have got going on right now. They are disappearing, folks. It is about time for qualifying. The drivers, they have 3 laps to put down their fastest lap that they possibly can here around this 0.6 mile track of Lucas Oil Raceway here in Indiana. let's go ahead and let's bring up your race information for tonight. Week 9 here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Very short track racing, 0.67 miles here. Short track NEXXTCAR Style 100 presented by W Energy. The air temperature, 77 degrees. The track temperature, we're looking at 78 degrees. That means this track has got a ton of grip in it, folks. These drivers are going to get confident as the race goes on, and I cannot wait to see the race that these guys are going to put on for us. 78 degrees track temp. We just talked about it. These drivers are going to have a ton of grip, which means the moves are going to be greater. The blocks are going to be greater. Everything about this race is going to be greater. And these drivers know how to put on an even greater show for us, but they're going to have to deal with that 10-mile-an-hour wind. So that's going to create a little bit of issues coming out of turn 4 and turn 2 for them, but I have no doubt that these drivers can get it figured out here very quickly in this one. But we said it's short track racing, 0.67 miles. This is really only the second short track race of the season. We had Bristol Motor Speedway earlier on. It started out rough, and then it ended on a high note with one heck of a shootout to coin the winner that time. So hopefully tonight, these drivers on the flat track of Lucas Oil can get it done, and they can put on a heck of a show. But they have 150 laps here tonight, 100 miles. It's going to be a heck of a show. These drivers know how to get it done. And like we've been saying all season long, the first season here in iRacing has lived up to the hype that it was supposed to create. And these drivers have stepped up to the challenge, and these drivers have not backed down at all. And absolutely love to see it. But speaking of backing down, that brings us on to our next subject. Completely away from where we are here at Lucas Oil Raceway, but taking it back to last week, mostly in the Cup Series. To all of you guys who were tuned in the Cup Series, I would like to apologize for the way that race went in several different occasions. Myself, several other drivers, things were not handled properly. And, you know, words were exchanged that never should have been. And apologies have been sent. They've been accepted. And I just hope that everyone can move on from that. This is the only thing that's going to be said about it, because that's in the past. Unfortunately, you can't change things in the past. All you can do is help in the future to prevent it. So there we go. It's out there. I just wanted to say to everyone that was tuned in for that one, I apologize. That race has been removed from all social media, my YouTube channel, the league channel, and Twitch channel. It has all been removed because we do not want that race or anything like that to represent myself or this league, because that is not what this league is all about. Just tempers flared, and unfortunately it led to some things being said that weren't meant, and some things that should never have been said in the first place. So without that, let's move on here, and let's check out your timing screen here. Mitch Diamond leading the way here at qualifying. And just as I say that, Jonathan Wright makes his presence known at the top with a 22.31, 0.05 faster than Mitch Diamond in second. Nick Trudeau in third. We talked about it. Can he go 3 in a row? David Chandler in fourth. And then you got Matthew Tucker in fifth. Then you got a couple guys back there in 15th and 17th. I'm not exactly sure why it's not showing a name for them. That's weird. Let's go ahead and let's hide that and see if it'll pop back up right. It will not. Give us a second here. Let's go ahead and reload our overlays. And it's only going to give us the top 12. All right. Well, some things are working, some things are not. We saw it last week at Atlanta that you have got to rely on so much stuff here with sim racing. Peyton Tulloch inside the top 5 at Atlanta. He had internet problems. He was able to get back in. We had an issue. Our computer, it didn't shut off, but it closed out iRacing. Discord. We've been having a lot of problems with Discord, and here in sim racing, you got to rely on a lot of stuff to work correctly. Well, sometimes they do, and unfortunately, sometimes they don't. But you can see right there, Steve Bocock is going to be down in 14th, J.D. Larson 13th, Christopher Thomas in 12th, and then Tibbetts in 11th, and Zachary Brooks will round out your top 10. As now Robert Asong is going to work his way up to 12th. So these guys, qualifying actually is about to be done here, as they are hitting their first, the the first 5-minute mark here of qualifying. You guys know the first 5 minutes is for the drivers to go out there and put down the fastest lap they can. The second 5 minutes goes to the drivers meeting. So these guys are actually coming up on their qualifying time here. We're going to give them probably about another 15-20 seconds, and then we're going to jump in there for the drivers meeting. But I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Unfortunately, tomorrow night's Monday, and everybody hates Mondays. It's the day back to work after a weekend. But hey, Christmas and New Year's is coming up, so we got that to look forward to. But unfortunately, with Christmas and New Year's coming up, that means that also marks the end of Season 1, a season that has been full of memories and definitely a season that has lived up to the hype that iRacing was supposed to bring to the lead, and these drivers have not backed down at all this season and absolutely have loved every second of this season. The good and the bad. Season 1 here has been a huge learning opportunity, administratively wise, and out there in the cockpits of all these trucks, and then on Monday inside the Next Gen Cup cars. But hey, it's time to get that drivers meeting started, so let's head down to the track and let's get it started here. You got them talking a little bit. Going to keep them muted because don't know what they're talking about and don't know what's going to be said here. As soon as Matt quits talking, we'll jump in there.
Andre?
All right, fellas, can you all hear me?
That's Big 10-4. Thank God you're here, Ronnie.
10-4, Big Daddy.
I'm sorry? All right, moving on. Welcome to the 9th race of the season. This means we got 2 more races left here in Season 1, so let's buckle down. Let's move on from last week at Atlanta. Let's leave that in the past, and let's move on to tonight. It's going to be a challenging one around this 0.6-mile track here, Lucas Oil Raceway. You guys have 5 sets of tires, including the one here at the start of the race, meaning 4 left here in pit road for you guys. You guys got 1 quick repair. Tonight, the Geico restart zone will not be in effect, as that is not a thing here at Lucas Oil, so just anytime you guys want to go, once the green flag is dropped, go for it. If you're starting in second on the outside of the leader, don't pass them before the start-finish line because iRacing will give you a black flag. Let's see here. Anything else? I don't believe so. Anyone got anything?
Yeah, how many laps were we running?
You're running 150 laps for 100 miles.
Thank you.
How many fast repairs do we have?
Uno.
Hey, Tuck.
This is going to get good.
What?
Oh, boy.
Can you clear my fast repair? Or my black flag?
No, you're going to have to ask Nick for that.
Alright. Sorry. I figured I'd ask you.
Cam, can you lay down some PJ1 on the inside, please?
I really wish that was an option in iRacing where you could turn it on and off. That would be awesome.
That would be so cool.
No artificial grip will be laid down.
Okay, what about artificial grass?
That's called Charlotte.
I got a feeling there's going to need to be some more grass laid down after this one. But, hey, y'all have a good race. Good luck, everybody.
Good news, I have the agriculture people on.
All right. So these drivers have 15 seconds left before they have to grid in this one. Now's the time to get all them jitters out of your stomach. You guys have 2 more races here in this season if you are going to get to victory lane for the first time here in this one. This season has been very eventful. This season has had a lot of memories. This season has had everything that we could have asked for here in this one. But hey, Cannot wait to get this one started, folks. But these drivers are heading to the grid in this one. Let's run through your field and check out your gridding here tonight. All right, sorry about that. I was trying to find someone that had already gridded up because the camera was freaking out. But hey, let's check out your starting grid here for tonight here at Lucas Oil Raceway for the 9th race of the season, folks. 2 more races including this one here in this season. This season has absolutely flown by, but next week we crown our first champion here of iRacing in the NEXXTCAR Racing League. But first, these drivers have got to get through these 100 miles here tonight. 150 laps here around this 0.6 mile track of Lucas Oil Stadium. Starting on the pole, you got Jonathan Wright, Mitch Diamond on his outside. 2 teammates starting on the front row. Nicholas Trudeau, your back-to-back winner. Can he make it 3 times here in a row? Starting third, David Chandler in fourth. Matthew Tucker rounding out your top 5. Nicholas Don Francesco in his return to NEXXTCAR in 6th. Robert Asong in 7th. Michael Maxwell in 8th. John Turner in 9th. And Robert Babcock in 10th. Zachary Brooks 11th, Dylan Tibbetts in 12th, Christopher Thomas 13th, JD Larson 14th, Steve Bocock 15th, Andrew Bolander 16th, Peyton Tullock in 17th, Matthew Erickson back in 18th, and then Jimmy Emos will jump up to 19th as myself and Camden are your administrators for tonight's race. But these drivers have got a lot to worry about here tonight. Can they get it done here? 100 miles for 150 laps. Pace car waiting on everyone to grid here before he leads them out for their 1 pace lap of the race. There he goes, the pace car leading the field off of pit road. Let's jump down there and let's see if we can't do a nice little interview with your pole sitter, Jonathan Wright. Jonathan Wright, it's Ronnie up in the booth. You got me, buddy? All right, well, maybe a little communication issue.
Jonathan, Ronnie's calling you.
Nope, he's good. I'll get him next, maybe under caution. Y'all are getting ready to go green now, huh?
We got another lap, Ryan, before we go green.
Copy. Jonathan, you there, buddy?
Ronnie, there's a Geico restart zone here.
I get that, but it's not an option in the iRacing setup. All right.
Jimmy, Emos, we're racing, bro. Get off the road.
All right, well, we are just going to have to not interview your pole sitter. Jonathan Wright is going to be leading the field down the back stretch here for the first time, bringing them to the Geico restart zone here. The 04, Jonathan Wright on the inside. The 65 of Mitch Diamond on the outside. 2 teammates, a Ford and a Chevy, but they are going to come back to the Geico restart zone. They are going to see the green flag this time. Green flag is in the air here for the Lucas Oil Raceway 100 here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Beautiful restart for the 65 as he is going to clear Jonathan Wright heading on that outside as they are heading through turns 1 and 2, trying to get single file out back, but a beautiful lead for Mitch Diamond in that 65, but Nicholas Trudeau's got a challenge from the 1 as they are side by side with Matthew Tucker, Nicholas Don Francesco, and others. Side by side continues here from 5th on back as Nicholas Don Francesco gets up into the wall through turns 1 and 2. He's going to come down, a little bit of contact with the 7. They're all going to keep it going straight, but Nicholas Don Francesco is going to definitely get the short end of that one. Here comes the 45. He's going to slide up into the 99. We are going to get our first caution of the night here on lap 2 here in turns 3 and 4. We stay green. Caution's out for the first time. First caution of the night here at Lucas Oil Raceway. You saw it live. The 45 just could not. We talked about the grip, folks, but there was definitely a lack of grip right there. Let's rewind it here and see exactly what happened. You saw the 45 way down low. That purple Raisin brand coming out of turn number 2 just held it down there and kept it to where he had a really shallow entrance. Could not hold it down there on that apron. Slid up into the 99 who just ran into the 48 who just happened to be on his outside there. Wrong place at the wrong time there for a couple of those guys. But your first caution of the night is out here on lap 4 of 150. 19 drivers here tonight in this one, so hopefully we can get it figured out here. The Truck Series, I'm not exactly sure why or how they do it, but for about the first 20 laps or so, that's where 90% of the cautions come from. So hopefully tonight they can get it cleaned up here and we won't have ourselves a caution fest like we did at Bristol. But Mitch Diamond with an absolute brilliant absolute brilliant start to the race, claiming the lead after Jonathan Wright did not get going on that pole position. Mitch Diamond taking over the lead in this one. Jonathan Wright in second, Nicholas Trudeau in third, looking to go 3 in a row. David Chandler looking for his first win of the season along with Matt Tucker. Matt Tucker's got 2 wins down in the Cup Series, but he has yet to find victory lane here in the Truck Series, looking to try and get it done for the first time here in that absolutely beautiful Coors Light paint scheme. And right in front of him, we got ourselves another beer sponsor, Bud Light Platinum, on David Chandler's number 1. But another truck I want to point out is that number 7 Chevy Silverado of Michael Maxwell, the Marines, running a military scheme as well. Several military members here in NEXXTCAR, and absolutely love to see it. As the 29, I'm not sure what's going on with Turner. He's going to fall back a little bit, but now he's going to pick it back up and get up there. But right now, your biggest mover of the night is looking like it is going to be the 28 of Matthew Erickson, plus 5 positions up into that 13th spot in that number 28 Big Ass Fans Ford F-150. That is a beautiful looking scheme. Absolutely love that thing. But my favorite out there on that truck tonight is this number 2 by Andrew Bolander. The throwback to Tony Stewart, the Home Depot car. Absolutely loved it. And it looks amazing here on a Toyota Tundra. But back out front, we should see the lights go off on the pace car this time by. And we do. You see it. The lights are off. The 65 is going to go to the inside, let the 04 on his outside. And we are going back racing this time, folks. Can the 65 get another great restart, or will that high line prevail once again on this one? 65 on the inside, 04 on the outside. They were swapped on the initial start of the race, but now they are vice versa of where they were earlier. Nick Trudeau, can he be in the catbird seat if something happens in that 65 on the restart? You see him right there on the back bumper of that 65. He is ready to go. Here comes the 25 of Tucker as well. They are going back racing this time. Green flag is going to be back out in the air, and another beautiful start by the 65. He's going to immediately jump up, but here comes the 89 as he's going to look to the inside of the 04. He's going to cut him a little bit of a break. It looked like Nick was starting to push there a little bit about halfway through 1 and 2, but he's going to cut him a huge break, and he's not even going to try to dive down in there in turns 3 and 4. But here comes David Chandler in the number 1 Toyota. Nick's going to get that big run off that high line. The high line absolutely works here at Lucas Oil. If you want to get around this track with speed, you have got to go to that high line. And Robert Asong is going to get almost taken out there by the 7 with the USMC on his left rear quarter panel as well. That absolutely beautiful Valvoline throwback to Mark Martin. But single file racing for the front, and the caution is out as Nicholas DeFrancesco in the 48 has went around again. Trying to get to Nicholas. There he is in that number 48 Lear Chevy Silverado. Not the start to this race the 48 wanted. Both cautions of the night have involved that 48 Chevy. Let's back it up and see what transpired here in your second caution. You see Jimmy Emos, but I don't think he was involved. He was not. Oh, a couple of guys. The 22 up high. That 22 is Zachary Brooks. Maybe Nicholas didn't think Zach was up there or something. Yeah, it just looked like he didn't think he was on his outside. He thought maybe he was clear and just pushed up into the side of him. But the 48 coming back down pit road to get some damage fixed. But out front, Mitch Diamond continues to stay out and lead the way here in this one. Well, we're going to step away here, folks, for a quick break. Don't go anywhere because we will be right back to bring you more of the action here at the drop of the green flag from Lucas Oil Raceway.
Still needs a gun. Whose ammunition justifies the wrong? And I can't see from the backseat, so I'm asking from above. Can I trust what I'm given, even when it cuts? So heaven, if you sent us down, so we can build a playground for the sinners to play as saints. You'd be so proud of what we made. I hope you got some beds around, 'cause you're the only refuge now for every mother and every child, every brother that's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the caught on the cross.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Lucas Oil Raceway for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series, here for 150 laps. Looking to go green for the second time here tonight after your second caution of the night. Mitch Diamond looking to get another great restart here with Jonathan Wright on his outside. Nick Trudeau behind him in third. David Chandler in fourth. And Matthew Tucker rounding out your top five. The pace car hooking that hard left onto pit road. They're going to come out of turn 4 once again into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. The 04, a much better restart on this one. Jonathan Wright's going to have to back it up. Does the 65 of Mitch Diamond. Puts on himself a big block. But here comes Nick all over the back bumper of the 04. All over the bumper of the 04 heading into turns 3 and 4. Looking to his outside. Can't make it done. He's going to have to jump back in behind him. But absolute great battling going on right here on lap 18 of 150. Let's jump inside the cockpit of Nick Trudeau's truck. Running in third in that number 89 Chevy. Running a little lower than that 04. Trying to get a little bit of momentum build up. Running high on the entrance. Low on the exit. Trying to carry as much speed as he can here. He's going to get a big run on the 04. Where does he take it though? He's going to stay in line with them heading down into turn 1 and 2. He's going to go a little bit higher here. Jonathan Wright maybe trying to protect that inside line a little bit more after seeing that big run by Trudeau. But he is going to hold on to that position. And here comes Tucker into 25. He has made his way past David Chandler into the number 1. Oh, that's going to get tight coming off of 4. But they're going to keep it figured out here as Matt Tucker's now going to go to the inside of Nick. Nick is going to try to prevent his slide job, and here comes Tucker. Tucker's going to get tight off of turn 4. He's going to keep it out of the 04. But implications for the 89 is now he's being challenged by the 1 and the 3. The 89's up into the wall through turns 3 and 4. Here comes the 1. Here comes the 3. And here comes the 7 with the 5. Trudeau really struggling with that Chevy right now as you see the 7 get tight behind him. And now that opens up the door maybe for the 5. He's not going to be able to get there, but here comes the 7 all over the back bumper of a Song. That's about as tight as it gets right there, folks. Bumper to bumper without spinning the guy. The 7 and 3, you could barely fit a sheet of paper between their front and rear bumpers, but they're going to keep it going. They're going to keep it figured out here. But here comes the 25 of Tucker trying to find a way past that 04. Right now, Matthew Tucker looking like he might be about the only guy out here on the track that might have anything for the 65 of Mitch Diamond. David Chandler trying to work his way up there to the back bumper of that 25. But Nick has fallen back all the way to 5th after restarting this time in 3rd. You saw him get passed by Matthew. I think he expected a slide job that never came, and he ended up into the wall there. Maybe just, like I said, expecting that slide job that never came around, and then he found himself up into that wall. But right now, Peyton Tulloch is the last guy inside the top 10. Worked his way up there. He had to restart this one back in that 17th position. But right now, +7 up there in 10th. Working on the 12 of Steve Bocock and that number 12 Chevy Silverado. And here comes Andrew Bolander into the number 2 all over the back bumper of that 17 truck. Let's jump on the gyro cam of that number 2 Toyota Tundra. As he's going to go to the outside here at the 17, looking to the outside. Peyton's going to protect that a little bit. Not able to get the truck to rotate towards the bottom. So he's going to have to try and get another run at him here heading into turns 1 and 2. Not going to get it done. But Steve Bocock continuing to hold his own up there in that 9th position as the battle brews behind him. With the 17-2 and the 29 was about to join him with John Turner, but John Turner is going to find his way into the outside wall. But he's not going to let that slow down. He's right back at the back bumper of the 2. J.D. Larson just barely hanging on with the back of these guys. Can he get up there and battle Turner a little bit? And then he got these guys back here battling. Nicholas Donfrancesco, we saw him involved in both cautions here in this one. He's trying to work his way back up there. Matthew Erickson, he's finding himself back here as well. Matthew Erickson, Robert Babcock, Zachary Brooks, side by side with Dylan Tibbetts. There's a little bit of contact between the 22. Save it, Zach. He's going to save it using the wall a little bit, but they're going to continue rolling straight. The 22 and the 45 back to battling here in this one. You saw the 22 involved in the second caution. He's got a lot of damage to that right front. I wouldn't be surprised if that right front tire isn't down. As you saw him back up into the outside wall. It looks like there's still some air in it. So it ain't down, but he is not able to turn that 22 truck very easily. But back out front, he's got a half-second lead. Mitch Diamond looking to continue to hold off Jonathan Wright and the rest of the field behind him. Jonathan Wright has got himself a nice little gap between Tucker and himself. And Chandler really falling back in that number 1. We saw him battling a little bit there, almost bumper to bumper with Matthew Tucker there for the first couple laps after the restart. But now he has fallen 1.5 seconds behind your leader. Just over half a second behind Tucker, the guy in front of him in 3rd. Those of you guys that are loving this this broadcast, I appreciate it. These guys make it easy to do the booth broadcast. If they didn't put on the show like they do, then there'd be no reason for me to sit here for 2 hours and bring it to you guys and you guys to enjoy the show. But Nick Trudeau, you saw him starting that second caution in 3rd. Well, he has found himself up into that wall a little bit there, back here in 5th. But Robert Asong working his way up, +1 from the initial start of this race, up there in that 6th position. Right now, your biggest mover of the race is that number 2 of Andrew Bolander looking to make another pass. He is going to get it done. He's not quite going to clear the 7, though. Heading into 3. Here comes Tulloch. Tulloch's looking to try and get it. Here comes Steve Bocock and the rest of the field behind him. Side by side off of turn 4. You saw that cause some issues earlier, but they're going to get it figured out this time. The 17 of Peyton trying to hold it down low. Not going to be able to do it. Can't quite clear the 7. He might get him on the exit. He will. Michael Maxwell has just lost himself 2 positions, and that might not be all of it, as here comes Steve Bocock into 12 on the inside. He's got Nicholas Donfrancesco with him. That's going to get tight, as Nicholas Donfrancesco almost slid up in front of the 29. Thought a little bit better of it. Things got really tight there coming out of turn number 4. And here comes Babcock in the 99. He's to the outside of that 48 truck. That high line is where the momentum comes from. That's the best way around Lucas Raceway. You have got to get that high line to work. It's hard because you got the guy on the inside and the wall on the outside. But these guys are getting it figured out here, getting that high line to come in. And that is the fastest way around this track, as you just saw Robert Babcock put it all on the line right there to pass the 48. It got tight, but he was able to get it done. But folks, out front, I'm not going to go away from this battle that we got right here, side by side, 2 rows deep. But out front, we might have ourselves a battle on hand here in this one. The 65 and the 04, just 0.4 seconds separate your 2 leaders. But these guys back here looking like they might get it figured out here. Little single file action going on. Maybe thinking, hey, let's not do side by side for too long. That's only going to slow us down, and let's try to work together and try to catch up to the guys in front of us. But Peyton Tulloch was over this battle, as he has now pulled his way up to 9th, 2 seconds ahead of these guys battling side by side. The guys who aren't done with the battles, the 12 and the 7, continue to run side by side. Here comes the 99. And then here comes the 29 and the 48 as well. Side by side off of turn 4. Coming back to lap 38 here in this one. They continue to run side by side. Steve Bocock not quite able to clear him on that inside. The 7 getting a beautiful run off of the high line. You know, and that is so aggravating. Oh, the 99 almost getting into the back of the 12 there. Maybe telling Steve, hey, hurry up, you're just kind of slowing us down here. But this is so frustrating if you're the 12 on that inside line. You're trying to pass the guy on the outside, but he's able to get that big momentum run off the corners and just not able to clear him. Steve's going to just barely clear himself. The 7, maybe not happy with the slide. Maxwell gave him a shot heading into turn 3. The 7, maybe not happy with the slide job there by the 12. But we were just talking about it, just how frustrating that has got to be for the guy on the inside. And right there, Steve Bocock maybe letting the guy on the outside know he wasn't doing anything wrong. But it is very frustrating to be a guy on the inside trying to make that pass, but the guy on the outside just gets that big momentum run, and it's making you chew up your tires on that inside line, trying to keep it out of him coming out of the turns, and then just trying to get the big run you can, as you see a big gap form between Babcock and Turner. But out front, folks, we are about to have ourselves a heck of a battle here for the lead here. 42 laps into this one. Jonathan Wright trying to run down Mitch Diamond right now. Both drivers 2.5 seconds ahead of Tucker, all the way back in 3rd. Who's got himself a battle with Trudeau. So we got ourselves a battle for 1st and 2nd, and then 3rd and 4th. Here comes Nick sending it into turn 1 and 2. That 89 truck, bad fast. We saw him in qualifying, put down the 3rd fastest lap. He definitely has got himself a fast truck, trying to work his way past that 25 truck, who is definitely putting up a fight here in this one. 44 laps in, folks, coming back to start lap 45 this time. Some sparks flying off the right side of that 89 truck. I don't know if he got up into the wall or maybe bottomed out there a little bit. But side by side coming out of turn number 4 for 3rd. 89 inside, 25 outside, as they are going to have some lap traffic to deal with here in this one. Let's jump inside the cockpit and let's see the lap traffic out front. You're going to have the 45 and a couple others. Who is that? The 22. Nick trying to work his way to the inside of the 45. That's going to get a little tight coming out of turn number 4. But they're going to get it figured out. The 89 is going to try and clear the 45. He's going to clear him. How about the 25? Not as lucky as they're going to be side by side coming out of turn number 2. The 45 is going to let Matt have the position. And he is going to clear him, but that's going to hurt him. You saw him get a little loose there coming out of turn 2. Well, that's going to allow Nick to really start to form a big gap there between himself and Tucker, who's struggling coming out of turn number 4. The 22 is going to back out of it and let the 89 have that high line, but maybe not. Nick is going to shut the door on the 22. The 22 is going to back off and let the 25 go by. But welcome Robert Hassan to the battle. Is now we have ourselves a three-way battle for third, but back out front, Mitch Diamond now holds a 1.3 second lead over Jonathan Wright in second. I'm pretty sure lap traffic had something to do with this one. But 3.5 seconds from your leader is Nicholas Trudeau back here. And then Matthew Tucker really starting to fall off in that 25 truck. And now he finds himself battling for fourth with the 3. Here comes Robert Hassan in that 3. Mitch Diamond continues to have to battle with the lap traffic to the inside of the 18. J.D. Larson giving him plenty of room. This is for 16th. Michael Maxwell just ahead of these guys in 15th. You saw Michael Maxwell battling with guys up inside the top 10 not too long ago, but now threatening to go a lap down here as he looks in the rearview mirror and sees the 65. But here comes Jonathan Wright, trying to use this lap traffic as much as he can, hoping it slows down Mitch Diamond as much as it can. But Mitch Diamond is going to make the dive to the 7. Who's going to get up into the wall? He's going to clear the lap traffic of the 7. Now let's jump onside Jonathan Wright here and see just exactly what he sees. You see the 7 trying to get the big run here, trying to still battle that leader. But the 04 a little ways back here. Oh, he's going to send it into turn number 1. The 7 not really getting out of the way of the 04. Not that he has to. That 7 truck has all the right to race the way he is. He might be a lap down now, but lapped cars still have every right to race. And there you go. You see him backing out. Caution is out for the 3rd time tonight. We're getting word Matthew Erickson has just brought out your 3rd caution in at number 28. Waiting for the rest of the field to go by before he pulls it back out onto the track. But let's back it up and see what transpired to bring out your 3rd caution of the night. I know these guys are happy to see that caution because these tires were getting very old. For several of the leaders, and the 28 involved with the leader. The 65 just came up into the 28 a little bit there. Caught him in that left rear quarter panel, and right around went the 28. Let's back it up here a little bit. Let's jump into his left rear suspension camera. You're going to see it. He doesn't change the line, but the 65 just comes up into him a little bit. Definitely not intentional at all. Absolutely not intentional at all there. But you see most of your leaders on pit road. The 65 is going to lead them out. The 04 is going to come out in second. Side by side with the 2 and the 3, it's going to go to the way of Bolander for 5th. His song is going to lose a position. He's going to fall back to 6th. David Chandler lost a position into 7th. Robert Babcock gains a position up to 8th. Peyton Tulloch in 9th. And Christopher Thomas in 10th. As Steve Bocock 11th. Don Francisco 12th. Maxwell 13th. John Turner 14th, Zachary Brooks 15th, JD Larson 16th, Matthew Erickson, the guy that just brought out your third caution of the night, in 17th, Dylan Tibbetts 18th, and Jimmy Emos back in 19th position. But we are going to step away here, folks, for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We are going to be right back here at Lucas Oil Raceway.
Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray, don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say, lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion, beyond you like lotion. I'm honest and broken, I flow like the ocean. I feel you were chosen to fix me, I'm broken. My heart that you stolen, hey. Stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb.
All right, folks, welcome back to the action here at Lucas Oil Raceway. As we are getting ready to go back racing this time, the lights are off on the pace car, hooking that hard left on the pit road. The field side by side once again here in this one. 65, 04, 89, 25, 3. Your top 5 green flag is going to be back out in the air here in this one. Great restart by the 65, a great restart by the 04, and a great restart by the 89. Side by side coming out of turn number 2, but the 04 is going to get that big momentum run. They're still going to be side by side out back, though. David Chandler, Robert Babcock finding themselves side by side. Chandler on the outside, Babcock on the inside, Tulloch into 17 behind them. These drivers have got to take it nice and easy on these cold, fresh tires. They can't put too much hope and luck into these tires. You got to let them warm up, get that the slickness off of them, and then you can go hard racing. But that 65 of Mitch Diamond continuing to show the way here in this one. You saw him running about as high as you possibly can in turns 3 and 4. Well, he is making it work perfectly. As Nicholas Trudeau still trying to find a way past that 04. Matthew Tucker finds himself in a big battle with the 3 with the 99 right behind him. Robert Babcock has worked his way back up into the thick of it all. Up here in the 6th position after that caution. Little bit of damage to the right side of that number 99 Target Toyota. And got some damage to the left rear quarter panel of it as well. But he has been able to keep it going straight. Caution is out for the 4th time in this one. As we're getting where Dylan Tibbetts has crashed on the front stretch. And he has in that 45 Toyota. We're getting word Steve Bocock involved as well. Same with Zachary Brooks. So this one, a 3-truck pile up for your 4th caution of the night. Let's back it up here. Let's see what exactly happened. Oh, you got Steve way down low there. Let's jump on Steve because I'm not exactly sure what happened. You see Steve, it's looking like he might be a little loose right there. Right there, he got on that seam on those cold tires. Right into the wall he goes. Coming back up onto the track. He had nothing to do with the 45. Let's jump back up on Dylan Tibbetts here. Did he do the exact same thing? No, he just lost it coming out of 4. Able to lock it down. A little bit of damage to that left front. But he should be able to continue on without really having to use a quick repair. But let's jump back up into it here as the caution is out for the 4th time here in this one. Mitch Diamond in that all-black number 65 Chevy continuing to lead the way here. Jonathan Wright in second, Nick Trudeau third, Matthew Tucker in fourth, Robert Hassong in fifth. Right now, your biggest mover of the race is currently sitting in that ninth position, Andrew Bolander in that number 2 Toyota. Steve Bocock making his way to pit road after hitting that wall. Same with the 45. Right now, 12 trucks being scored on the lead lap. Steve Bocock is the last one on the lead lap. As you can see him coming down, getting some stuff repaired in that number 12 Chevy. But right now, he is the last guy on the lead lap. The 12 is down and away. He's got his pit stop done. He did not use a quick repair. As you can see the scratches and stuff. He is going to beat the pace car off. So he will stay on the lead lap. That is definitely something that these guys need to pay attention to. I made that mistake last week at Atlanta in the Next Gen Cup cars on Monday night. I wasn't paying attention to where that pace car was. I was getting some optional damage repaired. And I ended up getting trapped a lap down. And it took pretty much all race to get that lap back. But that's definitely something that these drivers are going to have to worry about, is where is that pace car during these caution pit stops. But he is going to keep it on the lead lap. And like I said, 12 trucks all scored on the lead lap. You got J.D. Larson, Erickson, Maxwell, Turner, Tibbetts 1 lap down. Jimmy Emos back in that 18th position. He is being scored 3 laps down. And then Zachary Brooks back there in the 19th being scored 4 laps down. That wraps out your field here. 19 trucks here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Glad to see we had this many trucks here tonight at short track racing. 0.6 mile track, 100 miles tonight. These drivers are 67 laps out of 150 in. Can they continue on? Just 4 cautions so far. We're closing in on that halfway point, folks. These drivers are continuing to put on a show. But here they come. Out of turn number 4. Once again, back into the Geico restart zone. Green flag's going to be back out in the air. The 65 gets himself a good restart. But here comes the 89 and Nicholas Trudeau on the inside. Side by side coming out of turn number 2. He's not going to let the 04 get the big run. The 04's into the wall. That's going to help Trudeau out a little bit. That got tight. Side by side off of 4, but the 04 is going to get the big run. They're going to get it figured out back to single file, but the 89 not done. Nick's going to try to power his way to the outside. Not going to be able to get it done. Here comes Tucker into 25. And Mitch Diamond is loving what he's seeing in his mirror. Absolutely loving to see these guys battling side by side, because all that's doing is slowing him down and letting him continue to pull away out front. Nick Trudeau in that 89, not done, but now he's got to worry about that 25 behind him. As the 25 of Matthew Tucker trying to creep his way back up inside the top 3. You saw him. He was inside the top 3 until he got passed by Nick, and then he had a couple other guys pass him. But Nick continuing to battle bumper to bumper, trying to make it side by side with that 04. But Mitch Diamond out to just under a half-second lead. You see Matthew Tucker try to get a run there off of that apron a little bit. Maybe going down there will help your truck turn to the left a little bit. I know during practice some of these guys were talking about how these trucks just were having a really hard time turning, as Robert Babcock's going to get really loose back there in the 99. But he's going to keep it saved. Here he comes on the inside of the 17. But back out front, still bumper to bumper, the 04 to 89. They got it figured out just in time, and they are not allowing that 65 to run away on this restart like he has in the past. But the front 6, all single file in this one. Matthew Tucker has got the front bumper to 3 all over his back bumper. Robert Hassong really just about beating off the back bumper of that 25, but here comes Trudeau trying it to the inside again. He's going to back out of it. He's going to get back single file, but the problem with doing that is now that opens up the door for the 25. Here comes Matthew Tucker trying to do everything he can to try to get up there and battle that 89 truck. Let's jump inside the cockpit of this 25 and see what he sees. The 89's going to lose in front of him. Caution is out for the 5th time as the leader. One of the leaders goes around out of turn number 2. That is Nicholas Trudeau. He was running in 3rd, and then Matthew Tucker behind him had nowhere to go. As caution comes out for the 5th time tonight. Let's back it up. We were on inside the cockpit of that 25. We saw it all front row happening. But let's back it up and catch it from the TV cameras. He just got on that seam just like we saw Steve Bocock do earlier on the cold tires. Well, right around goes that 89, and then the 25 helped him a little bit as well. But not a lot of damage to that 89. Enough that he is not going to come down pit road. As you see, a lot of the leaders all coming down pit road. Jonathan Wright is going to lead a bunch of these guys down pit road here under caution for the 5th time tonight. But that is going to give Peyton Tulloch the lead as Nicholas Don Francesco is going to move up to 2nd. Nick Trudeau, he just spun, got a little bit of damage, but he is going to stay out and he is going to be scored 3rd. Mitch Diamond is going to come off of pit road in 4th with Jonathan Wright in 5th. Matthew Tucker 6th. Robert Hassong 7th. Andrew Bolander 8th. Robert Babcock in 9th. And John Turner in 10th. But let's jump out front. Let's talk about your leader, Peyton Tulloch. The man almost got himself his first win of the season at Canadian Tire. He put himself in great position, but unfortunately just made that last mistake, and it was definitely the race of errors for the front 3. Nicholas Trudeau, Matthew Tucker, and Peyton Tulloch in the closing laps all found themselves with a chance to head to victory lane. But Peyton Tulloch and Matthew Tucker made mistakes in the closing laps and handed the win to Nick Trudeau, who then went on last week at Atlanta to go back-to-back wins. But Peyton, so close yet so far away at Canadian Tire to get his first win on iRacing. Definitely one that got away from him. He is one of the road course ringers here of NEXXTCAR, so I know he felt that that was maybe his best chance to head to victory lane this season, and to lose it the way he did, it was definitely heartbreaking. There's no doubt about it. And then on the last lap at Atlanta last week, they had just taken the white flag coming out of the 2nd turn of the tri-oval there on the front stretch at Atlanta. Himself and David Chandler wrecked each other, trying to draft with each other to get their way up to the lead. But just a bump draft gone wrong at Atlanta, and Peyton went from 4th to 9th. So 2 back-to-back races that maybe could have been. But can that 17 truck put all that behind him as the lights are now off on that iRacing pace car? Side by side goes the field as we are getting ready to go back green this time, folks. 5 cautions on the night as we are just over halfway here, lap 80 of 150. Pace car hooking that hard left. If these drivers have to do any type of green flag pit stops, I hope they practiced it, because this could be one tough pit road to get onto. But they have yet to have to be challenged with that tonight. But back into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is going to be back out in the air. The 17, the 48 on old tires. The 65 and the 04, the first ones on new tires. The 65 all over the back bumper of the 17. Nick Trudeau did decide to pit. Oh, the 04 got really close there with the 48. I thought maybe he was going to turn him through 3. 40 04's into the wall. Side by side, they continue for the first 2 rows in this one. The 17 and the 48 side by side. The 65 and the 04 side by side. Here comes the 25. How aggressive do the 04 and the 65 get? Remember, those guys are on fresh tires. The 48, the 17 are not. The 48 goes to the high line. The 17 goes to the high line. The 04 to 65 both on the inside line. The 17 is going to get the big run. The 04 is going to jump up in front of the 48 at Don Francisco. Here comes the 65 now. Not quite going to clear him. Can the 48 battle back with that high side momentum? He cannot. As the 04 on the fresh tires is going to have to save it coming out of turn 4. Caution comes out once again. Waiting to see what exactly brought this one out. Christopher Thomas in the 5. Looks like himself and Nicholas Trudeau, Dylan Tibbetts all involved in this one. You see Nick right there. Actually, it looks like it may have started with Nicholas Trudeau trying to rebound from his spin earlier. Just once again got back to the gas too soon. Goes around the 5 trying to avoid him. The 89 doesn't get a whole lot of damage. Great job by him locking it down and just barely nosing it into the wall. Let's back it up and see what happened on the 5. Not sure if he got a little bit of contact from David Chandler or if he just kind of locked it up to miss Nick. No, he did exactly what Nick did, and then the 1 made contact with him right there after the 5 had almost spun it. But then Dylan Tibbetts got the back end of it. As you see the 45 now spinning down into turn number 1. So, man, this caution had a lot of action all the way around it. As it looked like the 45 got some help from the 7 coming out of turn number 4. He locks it up to miss everything, but nobody behind him does. Man. Let's back it up. Who bumped him? That was the 7 of Michael Maxwell. We're going to back this one up and jump inside the cockpit of that 7. I don't think he was expecting, honestly, the 45 to hit the brake like he did. I mean, the 45, I understand exactly why he did it, trying to avoid the 5 coming back up the track, but the 7 was not expecting it. Kaboom! Just hits him, and great job by the 12 of missing it, Steve Mocock. But man. But there comes the 7 down on the pit road to get some repairs done to the front of that thing. As I'm sure he probably about knocked the radiator out of that number 7. But under caution for the 6th time in this one. And we got a new guy in second, Matthew Tucker in that number 25. Slowly but surely been working his way up through the field. We saw him battling back there 3rd and 4th most of the night. But now finds himself up there in the 2nd position as your biggest mover of the race now. Plus 12 positions in that 4th position, Andrew Bolander. The guy just continues to work his way up towards the front. Andrew Bolander in that Toyota Tundra got one of his buddies of Robert Babcock right behind him and another buddy of Jonathan right in front of him as you see Matthew Erickson going around getting his lap back. But back out front, Mitch Diamond continuing to try to hold on to the lead that he has been able to keep a hold of for so much of this race. Coming back to complete lap 88 of 150. This race is absolutely flying by as we're getting word Dylan Tibbetts has just wrecked under caution. He's going to get that 45 truck up and rolling again, but definitely not what you want to do if you're that 45 truck. But lights are off on the pace car. We are going back racing once again here at the completion of this lap. Going back green here on lap 90 of 150. We have seen where the 65 gets such a great launch on these restarts. Does the 25 have anything for him on the outside? Green flag is going to be back out in the air. The 25 does not get the greatest launch, and that is going to open up the door for Jonathan Wright in that inside line. Jonathan Wright's going to push a little bit, keeps it out of the 25, who's going to keep it out of the wall, but side by side out back. Here comes Robert Babcock throwing it into turn number 3. He's going to get past the song. He's going to have to do a slide job on that 3 truck, who's going to keep it rolling straight. But back out front, Jonathan Wright trying to run down as we are under caution for the 7th time here in this one, as we're getting word that Dylan Tibbetts has crashed again in that 45. Matthew Erickson involved in this one as well. The 45 just got loose. We have seen it so many times here. Just coming out of turn. And then the 38 comes around and takes out Erickson. Under caution, the 38 of Jimmy Emos, currently being scored about 8 laps down, just came out of nowhere and takes out Matthew Erickson, who was 1 lap down. Jimmy Emos, dude, under caution, you've got to slow down. This is not the first time we have seen that from that 38 truck. Not the first time. We saw it a bunch at Canadian Tire where he was wrecking people. Well, it might be about time that someone steps in and does something, because it's pretty sad when you can get your race ruined under caution like that. But back out front, Mitch Diamond, as you see J.D. Larson going around. Jimmy Emos being scored 3 laps down, has just wrecked the guy that may have been in position to get that lucky dog. But these, all these cautions are definitely helping out the guys who went laps down early on, as we are now back up to 14 drivers on the lead lap. Not too long ago, we only had 11. Well, now we have got 14, as you saw Maxwell involved in that last one, so he was not able to get it. Same with the 28 of Erickson, so we still have just 11 guys on the lead lap here in this one. But they might be going back racing this time. They are not. They're going to be going one more lap here. Yeah, this race so far has been all the 65. He has led basically almost every lap here tonight since the drop of the green flag. He got an absolute beautiful launch. He started in second, but he got a great launch at the start of it, and he has not given up that lead since, besides the pit stop where Peyton Tulloch and I forget who, Don Francesco, stayed out. But the lights are off on the pace car. The field back side by side in this one. 7 cautions going back green here at the completion of lap 96 of 150. We still got 154 laps to go in this one, folks. This is going to get exciting here in this one. It's short track racing. These drivers have put on a heck of a show. We got some great green flag racing earlier on. Can we get back to it here this time? Coming back into the Geico restart zone for the 7th time tonight. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here at Lucas Oil Raceway. And another great start by the 65. Matthew Tucker does not get going into 25. Big caution heading into turn number 1. The field flying apart. Let's back it up. I don't know if the 25 spun his tires or what, but let's back it up. And the field just flying apart heading into turn number 1. Right there, he guns it. No, him and the 2 make contact. His saw him nowhere to go into the 17. Back down the track goes the 25. Takes out the 3. Back up the track up into the 89. Who just about had this one cleared. We're going to back it up. We're going to jump inside the cockpit of the 89 and see just what he saw. He just about had this one clear, folks. Sees it happening out front, does everything right, goes to the high line, but here comes the 3 who just clips him. Great job, though. Minimal damage on that 89 truck, but he is currently on pit road getting some repairs fixed. But caution, back out for the 8th time here as we are about to cross into lap 100 as Mitch Diamond hooking a hard left, letting the lapped car go by, and I believe, if I am not mistaken, that is Matthew Erickson getting his lap back as the lucky dog, and it is. You saw him last caution get taken out under caution, kept him from getting that lucky dog. Well, he has finally got it back, and welcome back to the lead lap, Matthew Erickson. So we are going to have 15 out of the 19 guys back out on the lead lap in this one. Your guys a lap down. Thomas is on the lead lap. Maxwell, Tibbetts, Brooks, Emos, all still laps down in this one. But coming to complete lap 100 this time, folks. We're going to step away for a quick break. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back here for the drop of the green flag.
Asking from above, can I trust what I'm given, even when it cuts? So heaven, if you sent us down, so we can build a playground for the sinners to play as saints. You'd be so proud of what we made. I hope you got some beds around, 'cause you're the only refuge now for every mother and every child, every brother that's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire. Caught on the cross.
All right, folks, we're going back green this time as iRacing has made it a single file restart. It is not happy with these guys, apparently, as it has initiated a single file restart after multiple cautions on the restart. It will do that. So single file here, NASCAR old style. Green flag is back in the air here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Mitch Diamond already up to a half-second lead over the field. Matthew Tucker back in that 8th position, side by side with John Turner in 9th. The 25 with the slide job. The 29 trying to cross over. Can't quite make it work, but they're going to get it figured out. And how about J.D. Larson working his way up inside the top 6? He is currently being scored in that 6th position under fire from Andrew Bolander in the 2. And how about Steve Bocock right in front of them? He has slowly worked his way up there inside the top 5. Caution's going to come out as we see J.D. Larson. Matthew Tucker, major issues. Peyton Tulloch, Michael Maxwell, they're the initial caution. But we saw those two Let's back it up and see what happened between the 17 and the 7. Oh, Nick's going to maybe send it in there. Just slides right up and just barely makes contact with the left rear quarter panel of the 17. Here comes the 7, just not quite able to get it slowed down. And then out front, you had Matthew Tucker make contact with J.D. Larson, who was up there inside the top 6. Let's back it up and see what happens here. Right around goes that 18. I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot to say about that one. But out front, Andrew Bolander has taken over the lead plus 15 positions now. He is your biggest mover of the race still, but now finds himself out front here in this one. As the 38 of Jimmy Emos is going to get one of his laps back. He is now just 4 laps down, but he is going to get one of them back and try to work his way back onto the lead lap. But 9 cautions on the night so far. Hopefully, we don't get anywhere close to our record, which unfortunately was Bristol. We talked about it in the pre-race just how rough Bristol was, and these drivers put down 17 cautions that night. So hopefully, we don't get anywhere close to that here in the closing 40-some laps that are going to be left here when we go back green. But John Turner, let's talk about him real quick in that number 29. He has worked his way up inside the top 3. Very quiet night so far for that number 29 Chevy. But slowly but surely has worked his way up inside the top 3. As you see him running behind Andrew Bolander and Matthew Tucker. But John Turner, like I said, he's had a very quiet night so far. And he has definitely had a pretty successful night, I would say, as he has worked his way inside the top 3, taking full advantage of the cautions as they come. But out front, another guy taking full advantage is Andrew Bolander. He started out back in the 16th position, but now he has worked his way up to the front. Let's see, do these drivers get to go back side by side, or is it going to be single file restart? It is going to be a side-by-side restart. Bolander, Tucker, front row. Turner, Hassong, second. Trudeau, Don Francisco, third. Thomas, Erickson, fourth. Diamond and Wright will be your 5th row, rounding out your top 10. We are back to now 15 trucks on the lead lap. J.D. Larson is the guy back in 15th. You saw him up there inside the top 6 until that caution came out. He and the 25 got together, but they're going to have to put that behind them here. Can the 25 get a better restart this time? Coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here in this one. The 25 got a much better restart than he got the last couple times. The 25 trying to put down the power off the turn. The 48, Nicholas Don Francisco's up into the wall. We're going to go back under caution. The 05, the 17, the 48, the 28. We stay green. Caution's going to fly once again for the 10th time tonight. That was not pretty. I got hope. They made it through turns 1 and 2 perfectly fine, and then they got to turn 3 and mayhem heading into turn number 3. It all really started coming off of turn number 4. It all started with Don Francisco up against that outside wall. Right there, a little bit of contact with the 5, and that just stacks everybody up. The 28, the 04, the 04 coming back up the track. The 17, heads-up move by Peyton. We're going to back it up. We're going to jump inside the cockpit of that Chevy because that was one heads-up move there by Peyton. Let's jump inside the cockpit here and see what that 17 truck saw. Right there, hitting the brakes. The 28 goes down, misses it. The 04's coming back up, slams on the brakes, misses it. Unbelievable driving right there by that 17 truck. That, ladies and gentlemen, was impressive. I will 100% give him credit for that. That was one of the most impressive things we have seen tonight. The wreck avoidance was on point there here in this one on lap 113 of 150. As you see Michael Maxwell going to get one of his 2 laps back, as now he is just 1 lap down. But Andrew Bolander has taken over the lead after the pit cycles 2 cautions ago. And he continues to lead here. Matthew Tucker, after causing one of the biggest wrecks of the night, after spinning his tires and getting into the Andrew Bolander and causing the biggest caution we've seen all night coming out of turn number 2, they continue to be first and second here. Robert Asong has worked his way up to 3rd. John Turner falls back there in 4th. And Christopher Thomas in at number 5 has worked his way up into the top 5 in that Chevy. The only non-Chevy inside the top 5 is the Toyota of Bolander, who's leading the race. And you got Chandler and Babcock, in the Toyota. Then Peyton Tulloch in that Chevy. And then J.D. Larson, you saw him go for that spin earlier. He has worked his way back inside the top 10. But the light should be going off of the pace car this time at the line. Coming around to complete lap 115 of 150 here tonight. 10 cautions, like I was saying a little bit ago, Bristol. Hopefully, we get nowhere close to what we had there. But a lot of damage to that 25 truck. I don't know if he has had to use his quick repair yet, but a lot of damage to that 25 Chevy as the lights are off on that pace car. And the field goes back to being side by side. Heading down the backstretch, hoping to hopefully get a couple good laps of green flag racing here. The pace car is going to hook that hard left onto pit road here, heading into turn number 3. Let's get the dashboard up on that number 2 of Bolander. Coming out of turns 4 at 56, 55 mile an hour, heading into the Geico restart zone in 2nd gear. Green flag is going to be back out in the air. You see everything getting down there in the bottom right. He's going to just shift up into 4th, heading into turn number 1, all the way on the brakes, down to 93 mile an hour, back onto the gas. Coming out of turn 2, John Turner involved in caution number 11. John Turner was having the race of his season until coming out of turn number 2. Wild ride for that 18. The 65, who led so many laps here tonight, finds himself back in the thick of this one. Major implications for your guy who has led the most laps here tonight. Right there, the 3 just pushes up just ever so slightly. The 29 on the outside. The 18 up and over the nose of the 65. The 65 goes up into the air a little bit himself, but able to drive away from that one. But man, you hate to see that for Jonathan, or I'm sorry, not Jonathan, but John Turner. You absolutely hate to see it for the 29 truck. But there goes Maxwell getting his lap back on the lead lap is that 7 truck. I know we got a couple Turner fans in the chat there Hate to see it for your man. But hey, he's definitely had himself a great season of rebounding and overcoming things. So I have no doubt that he'll be able to do the same here tonight. He's got a couple laps to do it, but I have no doubt he can get it done. We were just talking about it. Paying attention to where the pace car was while you were on pit road. Nick Trudeau not able to do so. He is now one lap down. You saw him trying to beat the pace car off of pit road. Not able to do it. Coming back down. He has now scored one lap down, trying to get some more damage fixed on that 89 Chevy. But man, we were talking about it. And he is going to be victim to not exactly paying attention to that pace car. Coming down, getting a little bit of damage. You saw him having to use his quick repair. Now, one lap down is that number 89, who's trying to go back-to-back wins here this season. He won at Canadian Tire. He won at Atlanta last week. He loves this track. And he was looking forward to this race, that 89 truck was. But this race has gone basically the way you don't want it to. But can he rebound? Only one lap down. I'm sure we're going to have another couple cautions. So, Nick, you ain't out of this one, buddy. But the field is going back side by side here in this one. Never mind, they are not going side by side. Back to a single file restart here at Lucas Oil. Bolander, Tucker, Hassong, Thomas, and Chandler round out your top 5. Tulloch, Belcock, Erickson, Babcock, and Diamond, your top 10. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here at Lucas Oil as they come out of turn number 4 back into the Geico restart zone. 122 out of 150 laps completed here tonight. Matthew Tucker trying to run down your leader. Andrew Bolanders the 5 up into the wall. Christopher Thomas. Everybody's going to avoid him. That opens up the door for Peyton Tulloch into 17, but he's going to try to battle back on that outside. Here he is coming, trying to get around the 1 of David Chandler. Not going to be able to do so, but the 17 just barely hanging on as the caution comes out once again. One of your other leaders, one of the guys who was fighting, Mitch Diamond, once again involved in this one. Back-to-back cautions, bringing out implications for the guy who has led the most laps tonight. That 65 trucks race has just gone from great to bad. Just got back to the gas too early coming out of 4. We've seen just how deadly coming out of turn 4 can be. Well, right around goes that 65. Like I said, this race has gone from great to bad for that 65. But 12 cautions on the night so far, folks. Hopefully these drivers can get it cleaned up, but we're going to step away here for a quick break. Don't go anywhere, as we will be right back for the drop of the green flag. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. yeah, you got me feeling numb. Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb.
You guys see it, the lights are off on the pace car. We are going back side by side for this restart, folks. Let's get it. Coming back to start lap 130 of 150. Next time by 20 laps to go here in this one. The 2 and the 25. The 3 and the 1. Pace car back on pit lane. Green flag is going to be back out in the air as they come out of turn 4. Back into the Geico restart zone. Beautiful launch by the 2. But here comes the 25. He's going to try and get himself a great restart. The 3 of Robert DeSong's really going to squeeze the 1 off of turn number 1 into turn number 2. Here they come out of turn 2. The 25's into the wall. So's the 17. Lot of smoke coming out of turn number 2. Side by side back here for the 99, the 12, and the 5. That's going to be tight. The 12's going to save it, though. But, folks, while these guys, before they bring out another caution, we are going to turn the volume up. It is time for the NEXXTCAR It Up segment. So let's go ahead and let's get the volume turned up. Let's get these trucks dialed in. Let's NEXXTCAR It Up. Well, folks, there ain't a whole lot that sounds better than 19 of the NEXXTCAR trucks running around Lucas Oil Raceway here. 14 laps to go in this one. That was about the best time we could have picked to NEXXTCAR it up for tonight's race, as that was about the longest run we've had all night long. But here comes the 3 of a song all over the back bumper of Tucker. 13 to go this time. Andrew Bolander, the man, the myth, the legend, has worked his way up into first. as they're working their way through 1 and 2, back down here into turn number 3. Here comes Peyton Tullock into 17 as the 04 is all over that inside lane. But he's got an absolute mirror full of the 1 of David Chandler, who's got an absolute mirror full of the 99 of Babcock. Coming out of turn number 4, Chandler's going to give him the outside line. That got tight heading into turn number 1. The 99 on the outside, the 1 on the inside going right back at him. 12 laps to go this time, folks. Andrew Bolander has worked his way out to a 1-second lead, but Robert Assong is going to work his way past Matthew Tucker. Implications on the 25 truck. He has lost a position, almost about to lose another one, but the 17 backing out of that one, which opens up the door for Robert Babcock in the 99. The 17 is up into the outside wall coming out of 2. Side by side through 3 and 4, the 99 and the 17 is going to get tight out of 4. They're going to keep it going straight. 17's just barely going to clear the 99 heading into 1. The 99 I thought was going to do a slide job. Decides better of it because he was anything but clear to do a slide job there. 10 laps to go here, folks. Coming back to 9 to go. Robert Assong really starting to run down your leader now. 0.9 seconds now, just over a second is the gap. Andrew Bolander has won already this season. He won at Auto Club earlier on. Can he get his second win of the season here in the Truck Series? But out back, they continue to run side by side. The 25, the 17, the 99, bumper to bumper when they're not side by side here in this one. 8 laps to go. Christopher Thomas has worked his way back up into 7th. Steve Bocock in 8th. Nicholas Trudeau has rebounded up into the 9th position, and Matthew Erickson in 10th. A great rebound for both of those guys, the 89 and the 28. But out front, 7 laps to go, folks, and half a second separates your 2 leaders. First and second, 0.41 seconds separate them. If these two get the battling side by side, what does that do for Tucker? Just barely hanging on out back, side by side with Tucker and Babcock once again. 6 to go. We have got ourselves a battle for the lead here in this one, folks. 6 laps to go. Who is going to come out the winner in this one? The 2 on old tires, the 3 on newer tires. The last time, they both pitted on lap 98. I apologize. I thought his song may have pitted later, but 5 laps to go. Here comes the 3. Can the 2 hold off the 3? His song clearly has got himself a very fast car in this one. All over the back bumper of the 2. 4 to go. This is what NEXXTCAR Racing is all about right here, folks. They may have had some rough racing there in the middle of it, but right now looking to finish this one out strong as they continue to run bumper to bumper. Tight racing back here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But back out front, the 2 has got an absolute mirror full of the 3. 3 laps to go here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Here comes his song. I thought he was going to try and maybe put a bumper to him. Are we going to see a bump and run here at Lucas Oil? Let's jump inside the cockpit of that 3 of Robert Assong. The 2 sideways. Still sideways off of 4. 2 to go. Bumper to bumper heading into turn number 1. The 2's really slow. The 3 all over the bumper. He's going to give him a nudge and a push. Coming out of turn number 2. They are going to bring this one all the way down to the checkered flag here in this one, folks. White flag in the air presented by W Energy. Caution flies. We do not see the white flag. Caution comes out. We do not see the white. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What has just brought out the caution? Milliseconds from the white flag. I have absolutely nothing on my timing screen that would have brought out the caution. What just happened? I am at a loss of words. I have nothing that says why the caution was brought out. I thought maybe the 38 and a 7, but nothing should have brought that caution out. Unbelievable. We were getting ready to witness ourselves another fantastic NEXXTCAR finish. Well, little did we know that iRacing may have had something else planned. 13th caution of the night, folks, is going to send us into overtime. Green, white, checkered. We have 5 attempts here in NEXXTCAR. Hopefully we don't need all 5, but I can guarantee you the racing at the drop of the green flag is going to be incredible. Matthew Tucker, he lost a couple positions. Did something happen with that 25 truck? I need to know what brought out that caution just feet from getting the white flag. I am at a loss of words in this one, folks. The 25 spot, that brought out the caution? That is what brought the caution out. Why did that bring the caution out? He got it rolling again. Oh, man. That is what brought out your caution that sent us into overtime, folks. I cannot believe it. We're going to jump inside the cockpit and see if we can't see when the caution lights come on and relative to the start-finish line. We're still green. Right there. You see it up there in turn 1. Just, wow. I cannot believe that. At a loss of words, folks, but green flag is going to be back out in the air here for overtime. Green, white, checkered. The 2 is going to get a great launch, but here comes the song right back on the outside. A lap and a half left in this one. Are we going to get back to the white flag? Side by side through turns 3 and 4. The 2 and the 3. Here comes Babcock in the 99. His song is going to get the big run off the high line. White flag is in the air in this one. Does the 2 have anything else for Robert Asong? He's going to try and get right back at him. He can't get back at him. Robert Asong is going to lead the field through 3 and 4 for the final time. Here comes Bolander trying maybe to use the bumper. Not going to get there. Here comes Payne. Payne's going to take out the 99. Robert Asong is going to win. But tempers are going to flare here at the end of this one. Robert Asong has just won his first race of the season in the 3. Tempers are flaring here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Wow! We're going to watch his song burn it down because he earned this one, folks. Still wrecking on the front stretch. Burn it down, Robert. You earned it, buddy. You had to run down and then make the pass under green-white checkered conditions for the win. Great win, Robert Asong in a number 3 Chevy Silverado. Great job, buddy. Great win. But let's go ahead and let's bring up your results for tonight. Robert Asong's going to get his first win of the season. Andrew Bolander second. Robert Babcock third. Christopher Thomas in fourth. Steve Bocock coming away with the top 5. Peyton Tulloch, we're going to go back and watch what exactly transpired there at the end of that race. Coming back in 6th. David Chandler 7th. Matthew Erickson 8th. John Turner 9th. Nicholas Trudeau in 10th. Matt Tucker 11th, Mitch Diamond 12th, Nicholas Donfrancesco 13th, Michael Maxwell 14th, Jimmy Emos 15th, Jonathan Wright, the race that maybe could have been for him as well. Not going to get the finish he wanted. J.D. Larson 17th, Dylan Tibbetts 18th, Zachary Brooks in 19th. But folks, we're going to go back and we're going to watch exactly what happened there with that 17 of Peyton Tulloch. If we're going to be able to. Yep, there we go. I mean, the man just sent it into turn 3. You see it. Just sends it in there. Just drives straight up the track into Babcock. And, well, the story tells itself there. But folks, don't go anywhere because these post-race interviews are going to be amazing. The tempers might be flaring, so these are going to be some interviews you do not want to miss. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Yeah, let's go. I don't care what they all say. That's right. I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay. We work hard, then we all play. Yeah. I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right. So I refuse to waste time, man. Yeah. One day it all will be fine, man. Let's go. Gotta commit to the climb. You know we're back with the Guinness, setting records every minute, every track. In addiction to the fact that we're winning, still we lack something's missing. Need a track that is hitting, making racks, making millions.
Oh, yeah.
That's the mission. I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah. Ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right. I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah. I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I'll make mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here I'm screaming. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the post-race interview from Lucas Oil Raceway. Robert has saw him coming away with your first win of the season. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not a whole lot.
Well, your race was a lot calmer than some of the others that we just saw there at the end of that one. Walk us through your having to run down Andrew there in the closing laps.
Yeah, I just really needed a calm race after the last couple weeks. But yeah, no, racing with Andrew is always a blast. I'm pretty sure if it was somebody else, they would have got moved out of the way. But before that caution came out, as we were coming off turn 4, I think Andrew was right there in the restart box zone, and the caution came out, and I was like, man, really? Like, I was working on him for like 6-7 laps, getting to his bumper and just giving him a little tap to see what it did. And I told him, I was like, Andrew, I promise you, I'm not trying to wreck you. I'm just trying to move you.
Yeah, I know. You said you were working on him, and it was working because he had himself about a 1.2 second lead at one point, and then I was doing a little through the field, and then I look up at the ticker screen, and you were right on his back bumper. So whatever you were working, it was working perfectly fine. But yeah, what did you think when you saw that final caution come out just feet away from that white flag?
I was actually I felt a little defeated, and then I had the thought cross my mind. I was like, please don't be a single file restart. Please be a double file. And it ended up being double file, so I would have rather not, had to move somebody for the win, but, it's short track racing, it's IRP, very infamous racetrack. So, yeah, I really just picking and choosing battles all night long. And I want to apologize to the 29 for that incident about halfway through. After restart, I slid up a little bit and I was out of the gas, and there was nothing else I could do. So I want to apologize to him for that.
Absolutely. So one last question for you. Restarting on that high line in second, definitely tonight posed its problems. How were you able to get such a good restart there? Because previously when you started up in second, those guys were falling back to third, maybe even fourth, as that inside line really got the good run.
Well, I knew if I let Andrew get more than 6 feet ahead of me, he was going to slide job it. So I had to drive it in a little bit deeper than I was comfortable with, but it stuck and I stayed on his outside. And once I was there, it was just hitting my marks. And, it takes a few laps to get back into a groove and get into basically momentum. But other than that, it was time to go.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, you took full advantage of that green and white checkered and came away with your first win. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Moving on to the guy who was the victim of that green white checkered, Andrew Bolander. You still came home second. Pretty solid race for you tonight, buddy. Led 50 laps, but walk us through your race.
Yeah, starting back wasn't my intention, but I was like, well, I'm gonna do it anyways. At least try to get one thing in the biggest mover award. I don't know if I did or not, but
Yeah, you sure did.
then I somehow made up the top 5, and as soon as I got up there, Tuck spun his tires and demolished me into the wall. And I thought he was gonna be done. Then another lucky caution put us up front, and we led for a little bit. So that was pretty cool. And racing Rob was good. I wasn't gonna wreck him for a win. If it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't have, but I want to be nice for once. It's the holidays you giving people.
Absolutely. So you heard Robert's side of it, coming out of turn 4, coming to what you thought was going to be the white flag, and then that caution came out feet away from the line. Walk us through what you felt.
I felt like I was going to get dumped. I figured people on 5th would get payback on 3rd, and I'd just be chain reactions spin. But, I mean, it worked out a little bit, I guess.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. But coming away in second, it's got to feel pretty good after we saw 13 cautions tonight. But congrats on that one, and move on to North Wilkesboro next week.
Oh, boy.
Another short track. Moving on to your third. Go ahead.
More tempers.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to your third place finisher. One of the guys with the little temper issues early. Robert Babcock. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not so much.
All right, we saw it that last lap. What happened?
We got some people that really don't know how to drive at all, and just like think he he thinks he might get payback on me after he came off my nose, came down my nose basically. But what you could do, they had to learn the lesson the hard way every time they cut my nose off.
Yeah, there's a lot of that tonight. A lot of slide jobbing and blocking heading into turns. But able to come away with the third place finish through it all. Walk us through your entire race.
It was a really good race, very steady, and this is a race that I feel like I could get at least a good finish out of it. I did, and try to keep that run going. Basically, it's just been solid. It was a solid race all along.
Oh, absolutely. You 100% had a very solid race. Started 10th, coming away third, and a lot of issues we saw throughout the field, and you took full advantage of it. So, congrats on that top 3 finish.
Did I get the fastest lap?
Matter of fact, you did with a 22.593, just barely beating out Andrew with a 22.596.
I take that.
Moving on to your fourth place finisher, Christopher Thomas, working your way up back inside that top 5. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Ronnie?
Oh, just can't wait to talk to some guys at the end of this one. But you had a pretty solid race. A couple issues. You along with several other guys kept getting into that outside wall, specifically coming out of turn number 2. But you were able to rebound perfectly to a 4th place finish.
Yeah, I just moved it there to that high line and tried to save as much tires. I think towards the end I was kind of at a disadvantage. I think I took my last set at like at lap 87 or something like that, and I knew track position was a big thing at this track, and tried to stay out, and the heat cycles just killed it. And then you had some guys mixed in with fresh tires, and they're able to drive it in there deep, and you're just trying to do the best you can, not sliding into them or getting loose coming out of the corner for the first couple laps after the yellow clears and go back to green. But other than that, truck drove good for the first part of the race, and we got up front and kind of just tried to hang out.
Absolutely, yeah. I would say that truck drove pretty good tonight for you. I mentioned it a lot last week during the Atlanta race, and a couple races prior to that, you were extremely loose getting off of a bunch of those turns throughout the season. But tonight, that truck just looked planted to that track.
Yep, it was actually turning really good. Put a lot of practice in throughout the week trying to figure out how to make it turn better and stop getting loose as much. So kind of got it figured out, got the line figured out, and plus I was just checking what other guys were doing and changing it up throughout the race, seeing what I could do better. But some things work for some people and some things don't. So
absolutely. Well, whatever you did in practice, it worked for you. From 13th to 4th. Congrats.
thank you, bud.
And the guy rounding out your top 5, Steve Bocock. You started in 15th. You found yourself in a couple incidents early on, but able to clean it up there in the 12, and you came away with the top 5 finish.
Yeah, I'll tell you, after the last few weeks and some of the stuff I've been in, it was just trying to be safe pretty much. I probably could have finished maybe a few more spots, but the urge to bump people, I just fought it tonight. And, I was faster than some people, but you just kind of had to wait for them to move.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, patience is key, especially tonight. No one was safe, whether you were up at the front or in the back of the field. No one was safe at all tonight. So, yeah, you had to have some patience, and you had to race smart tonight.
Yeah, I was able to hold on that fast repair for a while. I got into a few little, people spun out in front of me and couldn't avoid it. But I just made a lot of pit stops and fixed it. You could get about 25 seconds of repair before you got close to a lap down. So I'll take, I didn't think top 5 was going to be possible tonight. But the longer the race went, the better I got.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. But moving on to North Wilkesboro next week. And that is going to be the final race here of season 1. So carry some momentum here from this top 5.
Yeah, I've never even run that track yet, so we'll see how that goes.
It's
I hadn't ran this track till earlier today either, so it's just pretty much for me. It's just if I can find a rhythm. I know I get frustrated sometimes, but you just kind of got to survive.
Absolutely. Well, you survived perfectly tonight. Come home in that top 5. Congrats on that one.
Yeah, 10-4. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your 6th place finisher, Peyton. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, Ryan. How you doing?
I'm good. Before we move on to that last lap incident, I do want to give you some credit. I don't remember exactly what caution it was. I believe it was the wreck coming off of turn number 2 that took out the 65, the 25, and a couple other guys. But you had to work your way through that one perfectly, as you had the 65 go up in the air in front of you, and then the 18 went barrel rolling down the backstretch as well. And you had to be on top of your game there to avoid that one.
Oh, I was freaking out on that one. I thought for sure I was dead. And I mean, got on the brakes, weaved my way through, and somehow survived. So, yeah, definitely a scare. There was a lot of scares tonight. I was getting a couple of wrecks and just kind of being in the wrong place, wrong time, it seemed. But hey, at least one of them I missed.
Yeah. All right. Well, got to get to it. What happened on that last lap?
Before I get to that, Ronnie, I just want to mention like all the good things that happened. Because it's very easy to look at a race and point out all the bad things that took place. Like, I mean, 2 laps tonight. That's the end of the story we're talking about right now. 2 laps. But,
That's all people remember.
There was 148 others, and there was some excellent racing going on. Everybody racing hard. Going into that last incident, I mean, we had a hell of a battle, like fantastic battle, back and forth, clean racing and everything, and just catching the 25, and Tuck caught in the wall there, and I'm just trying to miss a wreck, and 99 sees this. He can see the 25 get into the wall and really stop and see me check up and everything, and I just drove through. So, at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun, and I was really excited to get out here, and I had a blast tonight after a long week. But I've made it clear throughout history, like I'm a really nice guy, I try to be friends with everyone here, but I'm also not just going to get done dirty. I've never been the guy to put up with that. And when it's the same guy every week getting into some new incident with some new driver, and people are like having to warn you to be careful around him, it's kind of a problem. So at some point you got to learn. That last lap, I mean, I'm trying to get every point I can, and I thought I owed him one, and I actually got the bad end of it, as Landon Castle once said, the first rule of racing. Yeah, I failed it tonight. And my judgment got a little bit better of me there. I threw away a few points, and now I go in the last week in a bigger hole than I should have been. So, hey, I mean, you win some, you lose some in these situations.
Absolutely. Yep. Just leave it behind you, because like you said, you just dug yourself into a pretty big hole here, and you still had a hand on that championship trophy heading into next week. Well, it'll be interesting to see just how far back this dropped you, because you were up there running in that 4th position until then. So move on to next week at North Wilkesboro, and who knows, maybe you can come away with the win there.
Yeah, I definitely threw away 2 or 3 points there doing that. But, I mean, like I said, you live and you learn. Next time I will be more careful, I guess, around the 99 truck. I should have known by now with all the incidents he's been in, but hey, on to next week. That's short track racing, Ronnie, as they always say. That's just short track racing. There's going to be tempers. There's going to be incidents. End of the day, got to smile and move on to next week.
Absolutely. And as a booth broadcaster, absolutely love it. But good job on that top 6.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Yep. And then the last guy I want to talk to real quick, Matthew Erickson. You there, buddy?
I'm here, Ron.
All right, man. You found yourself emost again under caution.
Yeah, I did.
How are
When
you?
you see it coming, you can't avoid it.
How are you able? Because if I'm not mistaken, you were supposed to get the lucky dog that time, but then he just took it out of your hands. How were you able to rebound and get it back the next lap, or the next caution rather?
Yeah, I was supposed to get it that time. I got it the next lap, and then I had some damage I was trying to get fixed, and I didn't make it out of the pits in time, so went lap down again. But no, I just tried to stay out of trouble and just kind of keep with the pack, and got my lucky dog and got the lap back, and just tried to hang in there in the top 10. And try to get as many points as I can. So I knew I wasn't a threat to be up in front for any reason. So I was just trying to hang back and waiting for other people to make mistakes, and got lucky and got an 8th place finish out of it. So can't complain.
Absolutely. You go into the last race of the season just 7 points ahead of Peyton. Next week, North Wilkesboro. You and Peyton are the only ones that have any hand in the championship here. Coming into tonight's race, there were still 5 that had it, but now it's just down to you two. How do you feel about next week?
Oh, I'm excited. It's been a fun season. Learning everybody, how they race, who's, racing who. And it's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to it. And, we'll see what happens next week. It's another short track, so anything's possible. Tempers flare, and got to keep your cool and hopefully come out in the end.
Absolutely. Peyton, I see you're still there. How do you feel about it? Just 7 points behind Matt.
I mean, either way, it's going to be awesome. There's not a better guy I could compete against. Matthew Erickson's really chill dude, and super happy it's between us. And I mean, hey, I'm going to give it all I have. I know I've got a lot of ground to make up. Might even have to win the thing, but hey, at the end of the day, we're going to go. We're going to have fun, and we're going to give it all we have.
Absolutely, yep. Maybe no one better down here in the truck series besides Matt Erickson. He does a lot for this league with all the paint schemes and everything. And Matt, we really appreciate it. And I just saw the new next gen for Nick that you made, and that thing looks absolutely amazing. So definitely appreciate everything you've been doing.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a blast. I'm looking forward to next season already.
Absolutely,
no matter
yes.
What,
Go ahead.
No matter what, one of your trucks is going to be the champion. So, heck yeah, man. There you go. You can do it like that.
Well, there you have it. Next week, we head to North Wilkesboro as we are getting ready to crown our first season here on iRacing in the Truck Series. Who is going to come away the first champion? Matt Erickson, 258 points. Peyton Tulloch, 251. 5 guys came into tonight's race with a finger on that trophy. Now it's only down to 2. Who's going to get it done? Matt Erickson has that first win at Daytona to start out the season. Peyton Tulloch still has an egg in that wins column. Can he get it done and find himself lifting the trophy, or is Matt Erickson going to prevail and hold on and grab that championship trophy as he has done all season long? Find out the answers to that and more next season at 8 o'clock when we go live for the championship race. Until then, folks, have a good one.